Hi honeys, it's me, Sarah, and today I thought I would talk to you all about my speech patterns and just address my English language journey as an international adoptee. So English is the only language I know fully, but I've definitely been made aware of the fact that I may sound weird and I may have an accent or lisp or whatever, but I mean, it is what it is. So I feel I should mention a little bit more about my background in order to give a bit more context. So I am an international adoptee. I was adopted from China when I was around 21 months old, so a little bit under 2. This is important because at that time, humans are already starting to develop language skills. So when infants are around 4 to 6 months, they're already starting to distinguish the difference between language and just random noises. Then around 12 to 18 months, children are already starting to say their first words. So when my parents first adopted me, I already knew a little bit of Chinese. But you know what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I don't really know Mandarin or Cantonese, but I am slowly but surely trying to learn. It's a slow journey. Growing up, I've spent many years in speech and been told many things by people. I've been told that I have a southern accent, I have a Chinese accent, I don't have an accent, I have a lisp, my tongue is made differently, and well, so on and so forth. Either way, I just sound the way I do. But English was definitely a journey for me. So when I first started school, certain people within that school system told my adoptive parents that I was mentally challenged. I wasn't. The thing is, I was kind of a shy kid and English wasn't my strong suit, so I was kind of quiet and I was definitely slower in some subjects just because I was still very much so learning and adjusting to America and well, learning English because I learned it a little bit later than many people normally would had they been born here in America. So always one of my poorest subjects. Thank goodness for spell check because your girl needs that. I can't spell anything. As I mentioned earlier, growing up I did take speech. I've had a few different teachers. I remember before I started public schooling, I had some teachers who would come to our house and we would do the lessons, or I would go to their place and we would do the lessons. I remember I had this one speech teacher. After the lesson, I got to, as a reward, color one thing from the coloring book. And when I say that, I don't mean like the whole page. I mean like, oh, I get to color the shirt from that one page. And then I couldn't even keep the page. So that was weird. But then I remember after that, I went to public school and I had lessons there where I would be taken out of class briefly and we would do our speech little lesson. It was unusual. I remember being told there are like 27 different ways to say the letter R. But I think that's wrong, or maybe I remember it wrong, or maybe, I don't know, maybe that was a thing during my time. Who knows? Either way, I know I can't say the letter R correctly in all the different ways in English. Apparently the people in charge at the elementary school did want me to continue speech throughout middle school, but I didn't, and you know what? It's fine. I feel like people can understand me well enough, and I am happy that I didn't continue my speech therapy throughout middle school. Granted, I have had my insecurities about how I sound. There have definitely been points in my life where I have thought about going mute. Granted, that may sound a bit extreme, but you know, we all have our brighter and darker moments. One word that I know a lot of people have trouble understanding me saying is drawer. So I usually have to kind of explain it / act it out. So, you know, the piece of furniture that has the box, the drawer, the cube, the thing that you pull out, it goes slide, you throw junk in, you know, the drawer. See, this arm, this is the furniture, this hand, I'm pulling out the drawer inside the furniture. Goes the drawer. So, I nailed it. You understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You know I mean drawer. And another thing I noticed is sometimes I have trouble saying certain words. It's weird. Like I know the word and sometimes I can say it and other times I can't say it and it's just like word vomit. For example, narcissistic. Sometimes I say it and then other times it's like I'm stuttering and tripping on the word. I'm just like narcissistic. And you know, I'm trying to say narcissistic, but for some reason that day is just like. I remember my sister telling me something that happened. This was back in high school. So there's this guy that we were both mutually friends with, we both mutually knew, and well, he was in my sister's class. So my sister had a Laffy Taffy in her mouth and her teacher called on her. So she answered and he started laughing and saying, "Oh, now you sound like your sister." So that, of course, she got upset with him and that kind of soured all of our relationships. It soured my relationship with him and it soured her relationship with him. Like, it just, that friendship didn't really last and we kind of grew apart after that. But it's definitely something where it kind of doesn't make you feel great. It makes you think like, oh, is that how I sound to you? Do you think the way I sound is funny? And it was hurtful, I'm not gonna lie. Another fun story is about a guy I dated briefly. So I don't want to say he was a bad guy, but I don't think he treated me the way I would want to be treated if I was with someone. So he and his roommate came up with a nickname for me, and well, it's kind of triggering. So the nickname was Fob, and Fob is short for fresh off the boat. And well, it was formulated because of how I sound. And that's not okay. Like, he tried to convince me, I'm like, oh, it's cute, it's fun, it's joking, and well, it's not okay. It's also weird because he would say how he liked the way I spoke, but also gave me suggestions on how I should speak so people can understand me better, so I will be happier because people will understand me better. For example, water. So he moved here from Britain and he had a British accent. It was like, oh, you should say water the British way. Say war and then add ter to it. Water, water. And well, it's like, really, dude? I bet you can't guess why that didn't last long. I want to put it out there that I'm not trying to mock that accent. I'm just trying to point out how he was being critical of the way I spoke and how he chose to display his opinions. And I want to share this experience because it relates to the topic of my language journey. I've definitely noticed that I've had a lot of interactions where people don't think English is my first language. I've definitely gotten a lot of, oh wow, your English is so good. Where are you from? No, where are you really from? Are you a foreign exchange student? And so on and so forth. I remember actually in college I had a professor who didn't think English was my first language. He thought I was an international student. And I was like, no, English is the only language I know. I don't speak any other languages. And he's like, oh, are you sure? Yep, I'm sure I don't know any other languages fluently. It was definitely a kind of interesting conversation because after that he didn't know how to proceed and it got kind of awkward. Granted, it happens, it is what it is. I'll admit, now that I am a bit older, I am more comfortable with how I sound. Granted, I still have my struggles sometimes, I still have my insecurities, and I'll admit, I'm like everyone, where when I hear myself recorded, I cringe a little. I'm like, oh, that's how I sound. Oh, my voice is so high. But at least I like to believe that's what everyone else does. Please let me know if that's what you do or if you don't do that. But comment down below. I think it's understandable to be insecure about how you sound. I feel like one of the reasons why I was so insecure is because I felt like the way I sounded made me sound stupid. And I didn't want people to think I was stupid. One thing I've noticed is that many times here in America, if someone isn't fluent in English or if their English isn't great, they may be perceived as dumb or incapable, and that's how people will treat them sometimes, even though in reality that really isn't the case. I think the way I sound was just something I was made very aware of because many people made comments about it. Granted, I don't feel like people are usually mean, and to be honest, I don't feel like I was ever severely bullied because of the way I sounded. I think it was just something I was very aware of, therefore I was insecure about. But honestly, I sound the way I do. and I'm happy to have such a strong voice to be able to say what I want to say, and well, I'm happy that I sound the way I do. So that's kind of the end of my language journey as of now. Granted, I know I will always have my struggles, and I know I will be more confident some days, and some days I may just be a potato or a panda bear, I don't know. But, you know, life is life, and yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, enjoyed our chitty chitty chat chat, and please click that like button if you enjoyed the video. Click that notification bell so you know when I'm posting, and subscribe so you can join me on more videos, my dears. And yep, that's it. Bye, honeys. I'm gonna do a weird thing because I want to do the out, but my tripod's far away, and as you can see, my arm is not that long. So, bye.